We are now going to work on adding integers without using a number line. So when we add integers, we really just need to remember a couple of very easy devices: same sum and different difference. So if two values have the same sign, so that's the same, we're going to find the sum of them and give them the sign, the common sign that they have. So for instance, if I have 4 plus 7, obviously that value is 11. Those are both positives. They both had the same positive sign, and the result is positive. If I have negative 4 plus negative 7, notice they also have the same sign, and so I'm finding the sum of 4 and 7, which is 11, and giving it that sign. So those are the same sum. If two values have different signs, so negative 4 and positive 7, or positive 4 and negative 7, notice this is a negative, this is a positive. Those are different signs, so I'm going to find the difference of the values. So the difference between 4 and 7, so this is the difference of the absolute values, meaning don't worry about the signs. Find the difference of the numbers, which is 3, and then give it the sign of the bigger number. And the first example, that is positive 3. On the second example, again, I have a positive 4 and a negative 7. Those are different signs, so I found the difference between 4 and 7, which was 3, and gave it the sign of the larger number, which in this case was negative. So my answer is a negative 3. So let's try some practice together. If I add negative 2 and negative 1, those have the same sign. I also want you to notice that quite often they're going to put negative integers in those parentheses so that you know that it's a negative integer. So I have two negative values that are the same sign, so I will find the sum of 2 and 1, which is 3, and give it the common sign, which is the negative sign. For my second, I have negative and a positive. Those are different signs, so I find the difference between 9 and 7, which is 2, and give it the sign of the bigger number, which is positive, so my answer is positive 2. For my third, I have a positive and a negative. Those are different signs. I find the difference between 2 and 10, which is 8, and give it the sign of the larger number, which was negative. And my last, 11 plus 3, both positive, same sign. I find the sum, and since they're both positive, my result is positive. Here are several for you to do on your own. So press pause, try all 4, then press play to see how you did. For my first, I've got 2 that are the same sign, so I find the sum, which is 14, and give it the common sign of negative. My second, I have 2 signs that are different signs. Their difference is 6. The larger number in this case is positive, and so my answer is positive. For my third, I have 2 different signs, so I find the difference of negative 4. I find the difference of 4 and give it the sign of the larger number, which is negative. And the last one, I have 2 signs that are the same, so I find the sum, and their sum is 48. The last question I wanted to go through with you with adding integers is when you have several integers, and I have the question written twice because I want to show you 2 different ways to do the same question. The first way is simply to go from left to right. So add the first 2 values that you see. Those are different signs. I find the difference. Recopy all of the other terms, and then repeat the process. Take the first 2 terms and combine them. In this case, that's negative 18. Recopy everything else. Take the next 2 terms, combine them to get, in this case, negative 28. Same sign, I find the sum. And then take the last 2 terms, and if I combine them, they're different signs. I find the difference of 10 and the sign of the bigger number. The exact same question done in another way should still give us negative 10. So in the second way, I am essentially going to group all of the negatives together, and I'm going to find that sum. And then I'm going to group the positives together and find that sum, and then combine the 2. So combining these 2 would give me negative 25. Over here, 7 plus 18 is 25. Combine these 2 to get negative 35. And now combining the negative value and the positive value, I end up with a difference of 10, and the negative was the bigger number, so my answer is negative.